Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to Module 2 in our 30 Days to Shipping Your Hobby Project kind of series. And today on the show I just want to talk about how you choose an app to actually work on for your hobby project. I know sometimes we get stuck in that stage, and sometimes it's helpful to have some inspiration and actually to work out some of the reasons why we're blocked choosing a topic for our hobby project. Okay, so the first thing I want to just remind you of, we're all about taking action. So every decision that gets in the way of you taking action, I don't know if the domain is available, I don't know if I have the right designer lined up, I don't have a logo, I don't have a name, I don't have whatever that is, that's all rubbish and it's all friction that's stopping you moving forward. So we're just going to throw all those things aside, all right? So the things that we have to remember when we're choosing a hobby project and building it is, first of all, we're not in this business to monetize. This is not our startup, okay? This is a hobby project. So we're not about fame, we're not about fortune, we're about finishing, okay? The first two F's will trip you up and cause you to stop and waste a whole lot of time. The third F will actually get you somewhere where you have accomplished something in these 30 days. So remember, it's all about finishing, and everything else is subservient to that vision of getting this finished and out and shared with the world, okay? So first thing, remember, it's not about money. I know that you are entrepreneurial people. You wouldn't hang out in a community like this if you weren't. But this is not that, okay? This is about building a lifestyle and a mindset of finishing and shipping projects. And the rest will come down the track. So let's start with that. Second thing I want to remind you of, that this is not a job interview, okay? So you don't have to wear your best dress or your best shirt or whatever it is that's freshly pressed and ironed. You can put together a pretty shoddy UI that just doesn't look, super great or slick or whatever. But we're going to mitigate the risk of why you wouldn't put it out there, right? So you might not ship because you think, it's just not sharp enough or cool enough or whatever. But here's the thing, you're going to be shipping to us, community of people that are going to support you and encourage you in your thing, okay? So there's a zero judgment kind of deal. So just put it together, and get it moving forward. And it may look a bit rough around the edges or whatever, but for us that doesn't matter. What we're celebrating is you moving forward and taking action. And we're here to encourage you in that. The other thing I want to remind you of is, when you're building your hobby project, just use the tools you love, Unless the hobby project is about learning a particularly new tool. In that case, then obviously use that tool. But I remember meeting a guy who said, listen, I really want to build this analytics app, but I only know Perl. So I need to learn PHP first. And I said, well, why don't you just build it in Perl? And he said, well, am I allowed to do that? Is that even okay? Because I thought everyone's moved to PHP. And it's just a nonsense. It's a nonsense discussion propagated by people who want you to stop moving forward, okay? You don't have to use the newest and the shiniest. You should use what you love. That is the best tool for the job for you right now, is the thing that you know and you love and you are productive in, okay? So I want you to do this. So stop getting distracted by having to use the right and cool tool, and use what is productive for you and will move you forward. Remember, Wikipedia is built on PHP, and it's amazing, totally amazing, and that's a very mainstream, been around 100 years kind of tool. So stop delaying that and just do what you need to do, and let's move this forward. Okay, enough about distraction. Let's talk about actually making this happen. Okay, so the first thing when you're choosing a hobby project that I think you should think about is work out what you want to learn. So do you want to learn mobile development? Do you want to learn cloud stuff? Do you want to learn Python? Do you want to learn, NoSQL? Do you want RESTful APIs or OAuth? Or pick something that you want to learn, that you have some desire to learn, because that's why we're doing this, to level up our programming skills in some new area that we want to actually learn about, okay? So pick that thing, and as soon as you pick that thing, you've immediately scoped the kind of project you're going to work on, okay? Because if it's going to be back end or front end, or it's going to be a utility or whatever it's going to be. So that's the first thing to do, is choose that area that you want to do. Okay, so once you've chosen the area that you really want to grow in and stretch out in, and don't spend too long thinking about that, just choose something and move forward. Remember, it's not about fame or fortune, it's about finishing. Okay, so once you've done that, think about something that you actually want. Think about the hobbies that you have right now. Maybe you're into running, or maybe you're into music, or maybe you're into coffee, or maybe you're into stamp collecting, or maybe you're into reading, or whatever you're in. Just think about that area and think, well, what could I build around this thing? That would be really helpful. So I remember one of the first serious hobby apps I built was around SMS sending. So I found some API that was provided on the web that you could send SMSs. And the thing that drove it was that every week when it was time to play tennis or squash, the guys coming to work would forget their clothes and the towels and all the stuff that they needed. So I wrote this app that just the night before would SMS everyone to say, don't forget to bring your stuff. So that was a little itch that I had. It was a very simple app. It wasn't good looking, but all it did was fill that need, and it was productive and useful. So pick something something like that, some little hobby app that you can build around your own life and do that stuff. One of the guys I work with built a little ladder for that squash tennis tournament thing where you could play other people at work and it would record. That was just fun. So your workmates can share in it. So that's a great theme of think about your hobbies, think about what you're doing at work and that kind of stuff, and pick something like that. And can I say about this? You might immediately inside of you say, oh, I don't know about that, you know, I don't know how it's going to work. But here's the thing, it's already been done. And it has. And it's totally okay for a hobby project to reinvent the wheel. Pick something that's already existing. In fact, sometimes that's better because it gives you a mental model of how the thing works now, so you don't have to waste a bunch of energy. I've written Twitter clones like tons of those things, okay? Just because I know the mental model, it gives me a good example of having to do updates and creates and retweets, and like just the whole little model of that is just something easy. I don't have to think about it and whatever, but it's good practice, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's already been reinvented, you can reinvent it because it's not about fame or fortune, it's about you finishing and leveling up on this skill, okay? So please reinvent the wheel. And the most important thing is that you pick something, okay? It's not what you pick, it's that you pick, all right? Don't worry about the domain, don't worry about the thing, and don't worry about the inner troll, okay, that says, oh, I won't be good enough. That's just your inner troll, man, and we are about slaying those inner trolls, okay? We just need, when that says, you know, I'm not going to be able to finish, this is too ambitious, or this is too, you know, already been done before, or mine won't be as good. That is just your inner troll, and we are just going to say, shut up, inner troll. I'm going to slay you in the course of this project, and I'm going to ship this thing, and people are going to love it. All right. Let's do this. If you've gone through all of those things and you still have no idea what to build, you have no friends or hobbies or people at work that have ideas, or you just got your creativity's just, you're burnt out and rock bottom. Here's something you can build for me. I would love an app where I could give badges to people. So when you've created your first wireframe, I want to give you a badge. And I've just Googled that. I mean, that should be a really simple app. Like I just create a badge in some site, super cool badges, and then I create the text for it, and then every time someone I want to give a badge to, I give them a ticket to that badge and they cash it in and it appears on their badge wall. That would be just like a super cool app. So if you're totally out of ideas, build my badge app. I would love to have something like that. But there's already some badge app somewhere. Probably there is, but it doesn't matter. Remember, not fame or fortune. It's about finishing. All right, so we're finished now, and I want you to do one thing for me to take action on this stuff today. All right, you know, there's a great line in The Matrix where Morpheus says, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. And in this series, we are all about walking the path. We know the path, we've all known the path, but this series is walking the path. So what I want you to do is I want you to email me personally within the next 24 hours and tell me the name of your app, doesn't matter. Don't think about it, don't Google it, don't see if the domain's available, just pick one, doesn't matter if it's bad. Mine's going to be called Puppy Mail. I don't know what Puppy Mail, I'm sure it's taken, but that's what my app's going to be called. So pick a name, I want you to email it to me and a 1-sentence description, and I will reply to you personally and encourage you in whatever that is. So I guarantee it's going to be an encouraging comment to get you to move forward, but it's accountability for you, and it's good for me to see what sort of stuff people are working on. I'd love to share those things. If you don't want it shared, you can opt out, just say, listen, hey, don't share this idea. Deal. All right, so send me an email, and once you've sent me that email, go and celebrate. You need to celebrate when you take action on things. So go and have a coffee, or go for a walk, or go for ice cream, or I don't know, do whatever you do that makes you happy. Watch an episode of something on Netflix or whatever it is. And then tomorrow, when we get together next time, I'm going to share some of the feedback that I've got from people, and it's going to be great. Keep us motivated. Tomorrow we're doing wireframing, and that's going to be awesome. We're going to actually start designing out our apps to make sure there's not friction in stopping us moving forward. And if you're just tuning in today and you haven't seen the back series, you should go and listen to the rest of this back series. There's a whole YouTube series that this video is a part of, and you should also sign up for our Motivated Programmer email list, and I'll provide a link for that below if you haven't already. Go take action.